Hey everybody, what's going on? Chris here with another live Q&A. If you have any questions, be sure to leave it in the comments and we will get to those. First thing I'm going to talk about in this Q&A as people join, as I said, feel free to type any questions into the chat. But what I'm going to talk about is the heat. Right now I am currently in the desert of Utah. It's been getting up to the low 90s every day. And it's definitely one of those things where you can kick the generator on. Typically with my solar, I'm able to run the AC on the solar. But what that does is when it gets nighttime and the fridge has been running, like the fridge is running all night, it can deplete your batteries a little bit. So I try not to leave it on too long. But there are different things you can do than turning your generator on and running the AC. So outside of here, I have an awning, and the way that I park the bus, in the sun's orbit, it's basically on the driver's side throughout the day. So what I'll do is put that awning out, and it shades the side of the bus. And I was never anticipating on being in 90-degree weather in the bus, so painted it black, and it definitely retains the heat. Like you can literally feel it from the plywood, a little bit of heat coming in. So basically having that awning out and shading the side of the bus has been a huge help, as well as the windows open on that side. It helps create, I don't know if it's a placebo effect or not, but it feels like the air coming in from the windows on the shaded side seems to be a bit cooler. Also in the desert, there's no humidity. So I'll just run to the sink. I'll just wet my hair, wet a hat, and then it immediately cools you down because as the water from the sink, the water that you have evaporates, it cools you down very quickly. Fans, right now I just have this little guy. You can see it right there. This is blowing on me, and basically wherever I'm at, I have circulation where I'm at. If I'm working in the bed, if I'm working up here, if I'm working at the office, I just have this fan on. And also the bus has two max air fans. And what I do with that is basically blow the air out, and then the side windows have screens, and it's sucking the cool air in from the side and then pulling the hot air out. And that helps keep it fairly cool in here. If I had to guess, it's probably around 80, and it's like 92 outside. It's like the hottest part of the day right now. But yeah, it is one of those things, especially as the climate changes and as you might be put in a situation like I am where I'm helping out Linnea with her hunt, watching the dogs and being like a base camp. I'm going into town tomorrow to pick up some gear she had shipped to her, which I don't mind at all, 100%, but it definitely is a situation where I have to be in a little bit of a warmer climate. As long as the dogs are good, like right now, one of them's sleeping and one of them's panting on the bed. It's a little bit hotter back in the bedroom. As long as the dogs are good, I'm not going to have the AC on. And we just walk early in the morning as the sun's coming up. And then around 7:30, when the sun starts setting, we'll go on another walk. Each walk's about 2 miles each walk. So we walk about 4 miles a day. So they're still getting their exercise. I just want them to overheat. So if you have any questions about that, just let me know. Cool Breeze, what's up, bud? Hope everything's well on the road. Jennifer, 100 plus here in Sacramento, California. Goodness. Hopefully you have some good air conditioning. That is crazy. Actually, when I bought my tow car, it was near Sacramento, and it was summer, and man, that was hot. That was so hot in Central California. Benjamin, I think you'd look fine in a plaid button-down shirt. Why, thank you. Linnea just got me one. Cool Breeze Travels. Do you have a mini split? I'm getting ready to get one. What size is yours? So Cool Breeze Travels, yes, I do have a mini split. For those that don't know, a mini split is the type of air conditioner that has the condenser on the outside and just a little head unit on the inside. I did opt for the single head unit, and I regret that every time I need the air conditioner. Basically, it's back at the bed, and what I was thinking is I would never be in heat, and if I had to kick the AC on it once in a while, it would just be, I'd just be hanging out in the bedroom. It'd be late at night, and I'd cool down the bus. I really wish I had a head unit right here over the office and one back at the bus. It would have been an extra $200. To answer your question, I have a Climair. It's a 12,000 BTU air conditioning unit. And if I section off the back bedroom, actually, let me see if I can do this. So if you see, I always get that backwards. back where the bedroom is, you can see the head unit. I actually have another curtain. So I have that main drape that you can see right there. I have one back further, so it only cools the bedroom. When I do that, it'll cool the bedroom off. It gets nice and cool in there. It's good to go. But actually cooling the entire bus, I should have put a double head unit in. Mark, what kind of AC do you have? Hopefully I just answered your question. How much solar to support it? So actually, Mark, I got my solar panels from a company. It was free 99, and they are starting to corrode on me after 3 years. I'm getting new solar panels when I get back to Kansas. Right now, I have 1,700 watts, and midday, completely clean solar panels. It's only bringing in like 800 watts out of 1,700, which is not what it's supposed to do. You can actually see lines on the solar panels to where they're breaking down. Like it's getting to that point. So the 1,700 was supposed to be enough to run the AC during the day. Typically 1,700 normal conditions would bring in 1,400 watts. And it's not doing that at all. So, I'm going to have around 2,100 watts, which should be more than plenty to run that AC once I leave Kansas. Georgiana, can't do the heat. Like I am so sleepy at the end of the day because of the heat. And, I'm definitely not complaining. I signed up for it. Right. But just the reality of it is I am so tired because it's just heat all day and it just wears you down. But definitely trying to stay hydrated, keeping the pups hydrated, all that fun stuff. Michelle, is dry rot a problem with tires after a couple of years of being stationary? I have not had any issues with that, Michelle. I do have Michelin tires. They're known to hold up fairly well. You can get tire covers from Amazon for like $30, $40, if I remember correctly. And these school bus tires range from anywhere from $300 to $600 a piece, and you need 8 of them. So $1,800 to $3,600. It's not a bad investment for $40. David, I live in 2 campers. Sweet. I met a lady today. I was garage selling that was getting ready to hit the road. She's selling her stuff to hit the road in her camper. Justin, I've been watching your channel for a long time, but first time live with you, and you are completely done with your bus. Have you talked to Wes lately? So the bus will never be done. There's always projects. I haven't talked to Wes because he is currently at Burning Man, and he has no cell service out there, and I think he's just enjoying being off the grid. Since the shop started, Wes has been going nonstop, and he was debating on going or staying and finishing a project. And I was like, dude, like you're going to regret it if you don't go, and you can always work harder when you get back, but you can't get that time back. If you're on your deathbed and you think about the things that you wished you would have done, I guarantee you this Burning Man trip would have been up there. He's got a free ticket, all his friends he hasn't seen for a while. And so he's a Burning Man, long story short. So I haven't talked to him for a couple weeks now. Mark, I just bought 1,240 watts of Quells. Sweet. That's a lot of solar. Congratulations on that. Cool Breeze. I only need 9,000 BTU since I have a much smaller unit. Yeah, 9,000 units in your rig will be totally fine, especially if you stay out of the 90 plus. When you get into the 80s, like low 80s, and you kick that AC on for a bit, that's awesome. Oh, Mark Anderson, Q cells, awesome. That is a awesome solar kit. Georgiana, I've watched you when you were going back and forth to Alaska. I know that was a while ago. I miss Alaska so much. Once the business gets squared away, Alaska is definitely on the list. Take the bus up to a salmon spot and just fish every day. Ship all the fish back home. Have it for winter down here in the lower 48. I am definitely looking forward to it. When I was designing and building the bus, going back to Alaska was part of my thought process. Betty, get a small water cooler and put it in a window that you can remove. Works great in dry heat. That's a good idea. Yeah, I've thought about getting a secondary unit, but I'm hoping that I don't find myself in this summer heat again. It's just been a little bit of an odd summer with breakdowns, and Linnea is currently on a mule deer hunt. Just things have popped up where we had to maneuver and get things done. Mark, thanks for sharing your experiences. Just building my schoolie, and you guys are a big help. Well, you're very welcome. This lifestyle is not for everybody, but those that want to do it, that can do it, that will enjoy it. We are doing everything we can to show people that it's possible and how awesome it is, and also include the negatives, because it's not all rainbows and unicorns, for sure. Nathan, when's the next podcast coming? So, Nathan, the next podcast, I'm basically saving up my podcast right now. So, for those that don't know, Lene and I will be spending the summer off grid on our land in Wisconsin, and basically just be working the whole time, like doing a bunch of outdoor stuff. I'm going to get a bow, get into some archery. We're just going to trap, fish, and hunt for our food with our saved up food that we are canning right now. And I'm going to be doing a lot of Skype podcasts, like trying to do 2 or 3 a week and really pump out the podcast. So right now, just kind of saving all the podcasts that I've done. I've done podcasts with schoolie builders. I've done podcasts people about canning food in their bus and storing canned food in their bus. So a lot coming. Daryl Mack, what's up, bud? Greetings from Baltimore. Rose, hey Rose, how's it going? Shane, hey Chris, I've been watching you for a few years. Thanks for the content. You're welcome. Was wondering if you have any international plans or any of that are on your bucket list. So Shane, I've actually done a lot of international travel. So before I traveled the States, I lived in Australia for 6 months. I lived in Rome for 5 months. Lived in South America for 2 months. I lived in Thailand for 2 months. I was planning on going to Ghana or Colombia before the pandemic hit. Like, I was actually in the process of reaching out to Airbnb owners in Colombia to book for a month and rent a car. But obviously travel plans changed with that. So yeah, I do love international travel. Some friends and I are going to Barcelona and Dublin this upcoming spring. We have a guys trip we do each year. So just travel in general, like, you know, the bus is obviously here for the States and BLM land and doing all that. But when it comes down to it, just travel in general, just going to new places and going to new restaurants and eating food and talking to the people around there. Like, literally today was an errands day for me, laundry and all that. And I went to a couple garage sales, and the highlight of my day was going to garage sales and talking to people and asking them about the area and how they ended up there and what they like about the area. And that's so different from living in Thailand and talking to people over there. You know, it's just getting out and doing new things and just remembering that I'm alive, because that makes me feel the most alive when I'm out in new places and meeting new people and having new experiences. Like, just waking up and having that as like outside my window, like that's what invigorates me and makes me excited and keep going. So I dig all travel, long story short. Mark, how is the heating function on the mini split? So the heating function is a good addition, but it is definitely not a primary heating source. And what he is asking there, what Mark is asking there, is mini splits have both cooling and heating. And it's enough, you know, when I have the diesel heater on, it's enough to keep the bedroom warm. And then I push the air from the diesel heater out to the living room to keep it warm up here. And that's if you're plugged into power, because the heat function does take just as much power as the AC. But typically when you're using the heat, it's winter, so the sun is at a different angle. The time of the sun being out is a lot different. So I try not to use that. I just use the diesel heater for the mini split. Justin, do you ever talk to Jax or Dean? So I haven't talked to Dean in a while. I haven't talked to Jax in a while. Jax's cousin actually helped out a little bit with the shop in Kansas by delivering a bus for a guy that's getting a roof raise on a mini bus. Definitely need to catch up with those guys. Like, I definitely respect both those guys a lot. And but it's just like you get in your groove, you know, like it's not like my college friends that I would call up on a Sunday afternoon. You know, we didn't have that type of relationship, but it was I definitely enjoyed talking to those guys, if that makes sense. Rose, record heat and fire going near Magic Mountain. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, the fires are insane. And with the heat, when I was in Montana, there was actually a wildfire that was crazy. Like, I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram. It's the Off Grid Schoolie. I don't think I posted it to my actual feed. I'll see if I can find it. But when I was in Montana, there was a wildfire, and I stopped on the side of the road, and there was tankers flying down, scooping up water right next to the boondocking spot, and then dumping it on this mountainside that was just absolutely ablaze. I don't know if I'm going to give myself 10 seconds, see if I can track down that video, because it was pretty crazy watching them dump the fire retardant on the mountain. Okay, I'm getting close. There's the boondocking spot. Bear with me, guys. I really want to show you this video. There it is. So that was right across from our boondocking spot. And then they had that, like the actual retardant, and then they had helicopters flying down. They had planes scooping up water and dumping water on it too. It was crazy. Lisa, this is my dream to do it, but I know nothing about a conversion van to travel. Lisa, my number one suggestion for you is to rent a camper van from Outdoorsies or Go Camper Van. Like there's tons of rentals out there, and I highly suggest, if you are considering it, just bite the bullet and rent one for a week, and see what you actually think, because it's not for everybody, but those that it's for is amazing. And just get out there, stop by Walmart or Costco or Target, load up on food, go out to public land. I'm going to type something into the chat. Campendium.com. Look at your local area, check boondocking spots. Just give yourself that opportunity to taste before you order the main course, if that makes sense. Nathan Falls. That's exciting. Look forward to hearing them. Thanks, dude. I'm excited to record them and post the ones that I have. Faith Little Wolf. I've been very interested in van bus life now and been doing my homework. For a bus build, you have to have a CDL to have a bus tiny home. So that is conditional on where you're at. You need to choke. You need to check your local regulations, because each state is different. But for different buses, it's different too. So mini buses are typically hydraulic brakes. My bus, for example, is a 40-foot, and that means I have air brakes. And certain states have different regulations on that. Rose, good for you, friend. Enjoy as much as life as possible. You live once, and there's no sequel. Preach. From the time we're born to the time we die, if we live, the average age is about 27,000 days. Tammy Smith, go to Spain. You won't regret it. Yeah, I went there for a week trip when I was in Rome. What was it, like 4 days? It was a 4-day trip. Well, I've been there a couple times, actually. One trip was 4 days. Another trip was about a week. And I loved it there. Mr. Imperfect, greetings from Tucson. Been watching your videos since you were in the van. Thanks, bud. Thanks for sticking around. Yeah, that I was down in Tucson in that van a little bit. Lived in Phoenix a little bit in that van too. One time during the summer, that was brutal. Teresa, amazing. Thanks for stopping by. Shane, you're welcome. Sandra, how much for a tiny? Sandra, that's, and I don't mean, let me rephrase that because that sounds kind of snarky. The thing that I was gonna say, just to put it out there, is it's like, how much does it cost to buy a car? It really depends on the model, the engine, the transmission, how big the car is. Is it a truck? Is it a small little commuter car? Like, it's totally conditional on what you're looking for. To give you context, camper vans for sale right now are ranging anywhere from $35,000 all the way up to $180,000. Schoolies are going, I saw a really nice conversion for $23,000 the other day. I saw another one for $85,000. Like, it just ranges. And the thing is, the $85,000 one and the $25,000 one, there could be very to little no difference, or it could be monumentally different to where you won't have any issues with the transmission. The build is better quality. The solar components are better and put in correctly. Like, there's just so many factors. So that's a hard one to answer. Travis, hi from Montana. We were just in Helena for about a month. I loved it up there. Mark Anderson, Barcelona is awesome. I absolutely agree. It's one of my favorite cities. Make sure you go to the Gaudi Park and the Dali Museum. So I didn't make it to the Dali Museum. But that is definitely on the bucket list. He is one of my favorite artists for sure. Lisa, my dream is to go through the U.S. I wish I had someone that wanted to do the same. There's so much to see out there. Yeah, I mean, I traveled solo, traveled in a relationship. I've done it all. Um, I don't have a preference, to be honest. Since Linnea has been on her hunt, this is the most that I've talked in 4 days. Just kind of getting recoup time, not necessarily recoup time from her. It's just I'm a little bit of an introvert, and having alone time definitely recharges my batteries. Not that, when we're together, it's like even, but I had a long weekend. One of my friends had his bachelor party, and I'm still sleepy from that bachelor party. So just completely resting, just chilling, doing my thing. Mark, what would you change about your build if you were starting over? The double mini split. I would go with a propane water heater rather than an electric. And I wouldn't have put the solar panels. So basically my solar panels are on the roof of the bus has a curvature to it. I put them on the side, and that was a mistake. Other than that, the bus has been solid. I'm very glad I got the engine and transmission I did. I'm very glad with the build quality. Knock on wood, nothing's broke. It's been pretty awesome. Gail, have you considered firefighting as a job? Yeah, so I was considering either forestry or firefighting when I've been on the road for a while before the online stuff took off. Just because you can only live so long on $300-$400 a month, right? And I was still going to do the YouTube social media thing, but I just needed to eat. I needed to pay my insurance. I needed to pay my cell phone bill, and pay for gas on the road. So I considered it, but it just so happened that the tiny home stuff started taking off. I read a couple books that helped me immensely grow everything, so ended up not doing it. Adam, what's up, bud? Best bus for a large family. Well, we recently had a tour on Tiny Home Tours of a family in a double decker bus. That thing was insane. But honestly, just a raised roof 40-foot school bus. I've seen so many families do the raised roof 40-foot school bus, or not even raised roof, but typically raised roof because they'll put bunks, in the hallway, or have the kids' room in the very back, which Broccoli Bus 6 has. So if and when I have a family, it'll be a 40-foot school bus. Faith, you're very welcome. James, what's up, bud? Hope all is well. James, the 12-volt fridge is holding up very well. If I'm going to be honest, I haven't even hooked up the 12-volt yet because it has a 110 option, and that thing doesn't draw that much power. Once I finish getting the bus ready for winter, it will be switched over to 12-volt. The chest freezer that's in this that's hidden right under there, I'll probably swap that out from the 110. Maybe, I don't know. There's 12-volt options. Chest freezers don't really draw that much power because all the cool air is trapped in there, and it doesn't really draw that much power. Okay, we're at 23 minutes. I'm going to finish with Malik Kazam, and I am going to get some work done. Cindy, hello. Amity Grant. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Dang, missed 20 minutes. There'll be a replay if you want to watch it. Adam, thank you very much. I am very stoked on this school bus. Skunk looks so nice. Thanks for watching. Mark, looking for ceiling ideas other than tongue and groove or 1/4 ply. Any cool ideas? So we are going to go up. So right now you're looking at my ceiling. That is 1/4 inch, but it's not completely rounded. So basically have runners. This is going to be very difficult. Runners that run along this way. Shit. This is so hard. Sorry. Okay, so you see where that strip is? There's runners that go along the bus. And then that 1/4 inch ply right there was attached to that and overlaid this 1/4 inch ply just a little bit. And this is basically flat. And then just Mod Podge some maps through the middle, and it turned out really well. So that is how I did my ceiling. It worked out very well. I'm very, very happy with it. Malakazam ended up getting a 38-foot school bus. I have small kids though. Yeah, people have kids in their bus. That's not a problem. But yeah, I'm going to call it with that at 25 minutes. I appreciate everybody that watched. I am planning on doing more of these. Hopefully tomorrow, hopefully Sunday. It's one of those things that, just to be completely honest, it's like the second I start the live video, I'm good to go. It's just I think this particular time is just because it's like kind of quiet alone time. It's hard to get the juices going. But I appreciate everybody that stopped by, and I am hoping to be here tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Friday into your Saturday and Sunday, and see y'all